Yo,
Okay,
yo,
I'm
yo,
reloaded.
yo. New JTO, just talking online. I'm Jerry.
I'm Marcus.
And we're back again, talking shit.
Always.
Yeah, we're talking about what, Corona in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Trying to blame the shit on the guy.
Apparently, Jerry got in his bag. Apparently, New Zealand ain't shit.
Yeah, just my shit. He's like, oh yeah, we got rid of coronavirus, and one guy comes over and fucks up our whole shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one's coming to New Zealand. That's literally everybody that comes through the door, so.
The funny part for New Zealand was they were really talking that good shit when they got rid of it. Like, yeah, you guys are trash. You guys still got Rona. No,
Good shit.
that's the worst one. The ones that be talking the shit first, they always take the hardest fall.
And see, like, I don't even blame them. Like, they're in the right position to win this. You know, it's like, Little Island, we don't need shit. We don't need y'all. We're just gonna shut it down over here. We're just gonna be cool. And it worked out. And then they can't just set up testing in their one bum ass airport to handle what, like 10,000 people a day at maximum. Like that's also something we did. That's when everyone's outside. Cause all right, so we looked up. It's like, cause I'm like, yo,
We
you
did
can't
some
blame
math.
this guy. And if you guys are gonna flaunt, all right, we're all good out of here. Then if you know everyone else at the other airports of the countries around the world aren't testing people leaving, then you should be testing everyone coming into your airport, because you're trying to protect your home, and you don't let somebody just in your house just you know look them up and down a little bit before you just let them in.
Yeah.
So and we looked up like how many people travel to New Zealand a year, and we saw 2019 that was like 4.2 million people or so.
Yeah, no. That was like their population's like 4.8 million. Over 2019, 3.8 million came.
Man, we even spotted them to 3.8 million people. So we divided up 4 million by 365 days. How many people are coming in on average? It's like 10,000 people. That's not even a packed out. That's not even a regular game at the Staples Center, son.
Yo, I had a lot of respect on that island's name not 20 minutes ago, guys.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure you did too.
They probably handle more people than that every time they have a goddamn Fortnite tournament.
No, the math is scary.
Math is so clear.
When people first started coming up with math, I feel like I understand why they were getting killed and called like devil worshippers. They showed somebody something that was a little too cool for them at the time. Like,
yeah, it just makes things simple. Because you try to make things like bigger than they are. Just break it down. It's like, that's not crazy.
He was busy giving a speech, and then somebody came like, here, I could show you with this. Let me just draw a picture.
Yeah.
So this is how it works. And he's like, yeah, that's some powerful devilry right there. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, man. But so we're not gonna blame this guy for corona. What was I trying to do there?
Re-Ronaing.
The re-running of New Zealand. And I know they're not letting us back in, no Americans in, because we spiked all the way back up.
Oh yeah.
Like, we just don't give a fuck.
I like how we're like such a powerful country, but when it comes to this, we're looked at as like a third world country.
Oh, we're worse than third world countries. Like, third world countries. We're just on some other shit. We be wildin', son. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get, like, it's a weird...
Part of our culture is fuck with the government's talking about, I'm doing what I want.
But it's really not that. Like, it's strange, all right? Like, I might have forgot what I was about to say. Maybe it was not that strange.
Dude, it's
evaporated.
I feel like fuck it. Cat Williams talks about having fuck it in your system in his earlier skits, and I feel like that resonates with the American culture so much more than the fuck it is all the way in our system. And other cultures, China for an example, they don't have fuck it in their system. That's why they're tripping the way they are.
Beating out of them.
Yeah, like that.
But I think we might have found ourselves in an interesting loop. I'm just kind of realizing this like right now. So coronavirus shuts down everybody. Everyone goes inside. Nothing's happening. So everyone's focused on the same things. So that brings along the protesting, or the accident, the
Murder of George Floyd.
Yeah. So the that
cold-blooded murder of George Floyd.
That's amplified, or the response to it's amplified because everyone's stuck inside because of Corona.
Yeah.
That gets everybody back outside. So everyone being back outside makes more people get Corona. Then yet people have to go back inside possibly. So I guess our response to it next is, because I don't know if you can really implement quarantines like before. And if you also think about it, we never had technically a national quarantine in place. That never happened. It was always state by state.
Yeah, for sure.
So are we looking at, I don't know, do we even respond to it this time? Because your boy up in the White House is trying to pretend like this shit's not even happening. He's like over it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm over it. He's like, it doesn't even happen. This doesn't even exist.
Yeah, to him, this is history.
Yeah, like.
That was the last presidency.
But he's just such a bad liar, too. Well, he's not even like trying to lie. Like, he, at that failed rally he held, he was just like, yeah, if we keep testing people, our numbers are going to go up. So I don't want to test people. So it's like, yo, what? He's literally saying, like, yo, ignorance is bliss, son. Like, you know that.
Dude,
you don't need facts and figures and statistics and shit.
Dude, my running theory is that Trump is a regular white person from the East. Like, that's really...
Well, I'm not going to... No. I'm not going to let you.
All right, not regular. He's your, like, regular, ignorant... Like, white dude from the East, though. Like,
you're just trying to... What are you trying
to do?
Or
we won't even say white. Let's not...
I don't even like how you're doing East right now. Like,
no, it's y'all. It's y'all.
It's
y'all. That whole East side, y'all be tripping.
No, this is a very specific...
You guys have a whole tone of voice that's immediately associated with not intelligence. What? Because, I'm talking about the rednecks now. We here now.
All right, okay. So what?
All I'm saying is,
there's some rednecks that are way smarter than both of us.
Oh no! I believe you. I'm saying what they're known for and what they get caught saying on television. It's some wild shit.
But these aren't.
I can't say they're the regular. You're right. I'll give you that. But these are motherfuckers that are on the television. They've made themselves known enough that, like, that voice is associated the way it is. That shouldn't even happen. I'm just saying that's the association.
No one's making this association but you.
We just talked about this association, like, not long ago.
Yes, you just associated Donald Trump with all white guys on the East Coast. That's insane. Like, what?
I gotta take that back. I gotta take that back.
It's gonna start a race war for no goddamn reason. like
all of our white audience, I'm sorry.
Didn't you hear Lil Baby?
I did.
It's bigger than black and white.
I did. I'm trying to.
With the whole way of life.
I'm trying to judge, but I'm trying to judge from the heart and mind. And the racism's still in my system, y'all.
Jesus Christ.
I'm still purging racism from my system. I've got reverse racism in me a little bit. It's just a little bit.
I think this is just racism. It's still racism.
It's reverse because
it's just racism.
Because the racism comes from the reason it's a little harder for me to get rid of it is because I feel like the racism is justified in a reversal of racism from their racism. It's not, though, but that's like a hard thought to defeat, it seems like, because it slips its nasty way out.
That's some literal can't fight fire with fire shit. You gotta put it out with some water.
Yeah.
Suffocate it. That went from metaphor to just hot up.
Just talking online, y'all.
From like a child's metaphor to just a PSA, like stop dropping roll shit.
Yeah, you know, but I feel like that's a weird thing too, because I feel like that's part of what makes it hard to acknowledge the racism black people do have for white people.
No, it's there. I don't even.
It's something that's hard to get black people to acknowledge.
I don't think it is. I just think you ask the right black person at the right time, they'll tell you exactly how they feel, if they feel that way. I wouldn't.
I feel like a lot of them will tell you how they feel, but then if you say that's racist, they'll say no. I feel like they can say some very racist shit and then finish their statement. You say, hey, that was pretty racist. And they'll be like, nah, that wasn't, because I'm like black. And like the thing I've heard was you can't be racist to the oppressor, basically. Like you can. Like,
yeah, I see. I guess
you can.
There's a difference between racism and systematic racism. Even though one's a form of the, or
maybe racism and oppression.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have to be racist to oppress somebody. Wait, let's see. Well, of course not. You can just oppress someone just to do it.
Yeah.
Off strength. But that's not what I was trying to say. All racism. Ooh, is it? It's probably all oppressive. But if you get, yeah, okay. All racism is not oppressive, but all systematic racism is oppressive. So, like, the racism against black people in America, there's systematic, like, there's laws, there's policies put in place by the government, so the actual system, to hold back these people. Right, in a myriad of different ways, economically, freedom-wise, whatever, in all the ways. But then, so that's that. But just racism, just how you feel about someone, you can still hate someone out of ignorance, but you might not be in a position to do anything about it, or
might not even be interested.
Well, no, you'd probably be interested if you really hate somebody.
Well, yeah.
But, like, if you just can't do anything, like, if you're just not in a position to influence or affect them, and that's when they just shoot you in the streets.
No.
Because, like, I can't do anything, but I can just say you're in the wrong place and stand my ground. And then we're brought back into the systematic racism of this person gets to do that shit and go home and finish dinner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you can be racist without oppressing someone, but that's just only because you don't have the opportunity to do it. But if you could, you would, because that's part of it. Because even if it's by omission, even if it's like, all right, I'm in a hiring position, I'm not hiring black people. I mean, if you really wanted to go deep with it, you'd hire them and then treat them like shit.
Yeah.
Or like a slave. If you wanted to just, no one has time for that shit, so you just don't hire them, and then you keep them out of your circle. Because even that's like a weird test of something. I hate you so much that that's some horror movie shit. Some Get Out shit.
Hate itself is an impressive emotion.
Impressive is an interesting word, but
it's impressive when you can maintain it. Like it's something that I feel like for most people it seems like it should.
I think it's more.
Should be hard to maintain hate for long periods of time, but like
not when it's rooted.
Yeah.
Like if I'm. I don't know. Like if you catch someone in the wrong time, the wrong person does something to you, and it devastates you, rationality jumps out the window, right? So it's just like, this motherfucker did this to me. Who's this motherfucker? Now it's all of what he is that did this to me. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to like the Liam Neeson thing, where his friend got raped or
his homegirl got raped or
by some black dude. So he went out looking for just any black dude. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just the rationality's gone out the window, and it's like, I hate this, and now it's like, what is this? And then it becomes everything that person is. You play video games, I fucking hate people that fucking play Xbox, you know what I'm saying? Grand Theft Auto, take it off the shelves. You know, it's like, you listen to what? Nirvana? Fuck them. Like, boycott, you know what I'm saying? Like, the kind of, these black, fuck all these motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? What was in his headphones? Jigga, Jay-Z. Like, that, like, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything. It just happens to be what it is, and
that close enough association.
Yeah, that's how we were super, like, right after 9/11. Everybody with a brown skin got that shit. Like, it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, rationality's out the window. We're under attack. And you look like the people they put up on the news. Do you know them? Because I ain't never seen any of y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it comes from the most ignorant of places because I am scared, you know? Like, I am terrified. And it's fight or flight, and I don't even know where to run. So, are you with them? I need to see your American flag pin right now. Tell me the first, you know, I need a test because, like, it's not, I'm not saying these are right reactions. I get it, though.
It's hard to fight that tribalism.
It's hard to fight fear.
Well, that's where it comes from, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's, and that, prejudice. Like, prejudice is a built-in, natural, like, survival mechanism. We should take this shit too far. Because it's supposed to be like, all right, to have a prejudice or just even leaning on, not stereotypes, but
there's a fear of the other.
It's not just other. It's other that could be dangerous. Because it's not just other. Well, like if no one's.
I feel like the reason I feel like the other is such a strong thing alone is that the other is inherently you don't know if it's dangerous, and that's what puts the fear down.
No, but I'm saying I don't think it. Okay, sure, I agree with that, but some are more obvious than others.
Okay,
like not until coronavirus and people attaching Chinese virus, Wuhan virus, this motherfucker saying Kung flu, like, and so now people are scared of Asian people and attacking them out of this just.
Oh, that's real?
Yeah, that was real.
Oh, I thought that was a meme.
No, people are fucking stupid, and like that's why the first day, like when this happened, I was like, don't do that shit, because it's people are getting hurt in the streets, and it's not cool. It's not even. It's fucked up. Yeah. And it's for no. It's out of the most ignorance of thoughts. So, but before this. That whole demographic, that's not a threatening demographic in a stereotypical way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? People would have, if you want to equate a stereotype, the most one that would influence violence or that would even bring up that imagery is don't fuck with that person because he might be able to fuck you up. But it's never that they're gonna just fuck people up. That's never been, you know what I'm saying? That's not a part of it.
Yeah.
Or not part of stereotypical, because these aren't feelings. These are just stereotypes of way people feel about people. But it seems like that. So before that, there was no fear. They're other. I don't understand your shit. I like the number one on the menu, on the Chinese menu. I don't get the fuck. Why do you guys have a whole different New Year? Are you all Chinese? like all that dumb shit. But like. They're not scared until you attach this. Now you added fear, and now you attack fear. So it's the same thing. Black people just have violent stereotypes attached, or that have been attached, because it's not even based on things we've done. And we
fulfilled some of them.
I don't perpetuate it. Because fulfilled's not. Because that makes it true. That's not true. But to perpetuate it's a little different. Because like not all gangster rappers are gangsters, but the perpetuation of it. So like
leads to the idea.
Yes, that doesn't make it true. But we are pushing the idea. We're doubling down on it, even though all these people have to drop a body to do it. So, so that doesn't make it true, but we're not fighting the narrative. Yeah, we're not strong enough. And even in those pursuits, when that becomes the most popular genre in the world, there's a I think we did that.
As a black person, it is weird how ignorant people are of black people. Like it gets interesting because like you can be in a place where it's like majority black people, and you meet a white person that tells you like, "This is my first time." Like, where do you live? Like here in a majority black place, you've never seen black people. Like, what kind of life you live in? Where do you live? Like, oh yeah.
I can see because I get that I'm gonna talk for all black people for 2 seconds. We think there's a lot more of us than there are. Just simply, because when math comes back in and just the truth silences the whole shit. Because you would think and even
I think we're 12% of the population.
It might be a little under that.
Somewhere around there, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's definitely the 10th percentile. I think we're definitely double digits, but that's still 80% of other people, for one. And then white people are it's literally a 50 or 60% thing. And then there's other people also, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other people included in there. Chinese, Vietnamese refugees, we've had Ethiopian refugees. We used to do that shit. Mexicans come in, they're fucking, and everyone's fucking hard more than white people. And white people are, and you mix that with the opioid crisis where now parents are looking at their children, which is the most tragic of scenarios of any society. So them fucking coming in, and you guys are not living your best lives. Yeah. So, but we're not there yet. But the numbers are going in that direction. But until then, we got to just recognize we dominate media so hard in sports, and that we think we're just everywhere. No, we have pockets everywhere, but it's really small pockets compared to those populations in those places. Unless it's
No, I feel you, and I mean
And I even said growing up in Atlanta where there's black people everywhere. So it does feel can you look, what percent of the Atlanta population is black? I feel like it has to be a lot, but.
What percent of the Atlanta population is black?
It's gonna be a ton. But I wonder what those
51%.
Yeah, so that sounds right. Okay. And that's over the last 20 years.
How many black people live in the United States?
Because I would say even in my lifetime, that's probably gotten to that point as far as Atlanta goes, population wise. Because where I grew up, when we first moved there, it was all white, and then now it's not. It's pretty mixed. So I don't even know. So we kind of think that
we have more people than we do.
Yeah, so you would think so every time it's people are I've never met a black person. You have to have a little bit of empathy towards it because the country's huge and we're spread out throughout it, and there's some pockets we just aren't. And it's not even that we're not welcome there. We just said fuck it. We just said nah.
Yeah. So, some of those places don't make sense.
Yeah, and even some places that don't make sense, we are there. So I get it. It's wild. So I've shown up some places. I've gone South Georgia, where you go in to the country, where it's just alright, good old boys, every stereotype you wanna attach to some southern shit. we're here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you see some black guys out there doing the thing, got the F-150s, like, this is life. And I'm just like,
yeah.
We're not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're still brothers in this, but like, we have wild different experiences. And that's awesome. But like, it's a
whole different vibe.
We're just.
Have you ever heard of hip hop?
Who?
It's a genre of rap or a subgenre of rap called hip hop. It's more or less redneck hip hop, and it
I mean, I believe it. Yeah.
It's these guys.
I'm sure. That doesn't even shock me. I'm more shocked that you asked me if I heard about it because don't ever disrespect me like that. I'm not shocked.
Yo, you just said you were up there with him. I mean, how close is the association?
16s and shit. You're going to really blow my mind.
Yeah, I thought they got out the F-150. They tried to show you something.
I've heard black people do country music and we listen to R&R. Like, so I know that I get it. But no, I'm not. You know. But it's not my experience.
I started suspecting you a little bit. I had to just investigate. I started suspecting you a little bit.
I mean, it's could be tight. I don't know.
It's not even bad. It's pretty. Yeah. It's pretty dope.
I'm not even mad at it. It's just no.
It's.
Yeah. So I mean, we're out here, and as everywhere we are, we just gotta know that we're just not majority. So. I don't even know the point of that. So have empathy if someone's not met a black person.
Yeah.
Because it's not impossible. It's not even improbable in a lot of places.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of like it because I feel like when I hear it, I feel like, oh, well, you're in for a treat because I guess I get to represent all black people for you.
See, I was just it makes every encounter a responsibility, and that sucks.
Oh, it does.
But like, I do. I'm nice in general. I don't really. Yeah. I think I do more effort in some of those cases because even when I have bad scenarios, that weighs on me. I'm not bringing up any specifics on it. But we went out one night, like, years ago. And I was in a whole mood. I don't even know why. I still don't know why that shit.
No, that was super disrespectful.
Well, but whatever. We're not going to get into any of that. But I still, whenever I think about it, I get super sad that I represented the race like that, for real. Because I'm like, because that could have been the scenario way easier than even when we're talking about white people, because we're in Mexico, so we're not just down here at all.
Yeah, we represent completely.
So when I did that, I was just like, oh, God, I literally thought I might have just created a racist, like, dude, that, like, you know what I'm saying, like to a point.
Out here, I feel like it's really like the stakes. You can feel them. Sometimes you can even see on people's face, like you've changed their opinion on what black people are.
But see, I felt that way both ways. Here's just super
obvious.
Super obvious. And like you can assume it's that way. But I've been in scenarios where even if they knew black people, maybe not a lot, maybe not just
they don't have the exposure.
Yeah, or I could tell this is probably one of the longest conversations. This is the scenario, and so you can kind of see, even if they hit you with like a
start asking the stupid black people questions.
Yeah, or even edging that. You can kind of see in their eyes if it's going well that you can hopefully change your mind, or going forward that you've at least left an impression in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that is important to me because of what we were saying before. I know that we're just not out here, so like,
yeah.
It's a kind of responsibility. It sucks that it needs to be that way, but
and it feels heavier when you're like a generally nice person because you feel like you have to be against the stereotype of us being like assholes, Or I felt like that. Like I felt like there was like some, because I've had people talk to me like, yeah, like they were surprised I was capable of just being a nice person. Like, well, you start wondering like, what are your expectations? What do you expect when you first started talking to me?
It's another guy asking, what happened?
Yeah.
That's really.
Or what stories people tell you, because I think that's really important too. A lot of people are going off of the stories they've been told, and it's easy to bridge someone's story to be your experience.
Especially if I really know that person, because that could have been me.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So yeah, if you're 1 degree of separation from a tragedy, the chance of you feel, however, whatever that scenario was, chance of you feeling a different way about whatever that was makes sense. Like if never mind.
No, I have a situation that's just like that. Like my buddy, he and I mean it's part of, I have trouble relating with a lot of feminist ideas because I've had a buddy that he had to deal with the police in a way that it was messing his life up and he didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting there like, man, like I know that false accusations are only like 2 to 10%, but like
I've seen 2 to 10%.
Yeah.
Like yeah, of course, and that's it can't not affect you. You just gotta keep everything in scope, I guess.
Stay consciously thinking.
And I think just humans by design, just because we have a relatively short lifespan and whatever, you can kind of ramp it up the more you live life, but our sample sizes for shit are super small and affect our thought processes going forward way more than they should based on it.
Yeah, and then we just have like the craziest animal brain. Like for how smart we are, we're still very much animals.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that's what I'm saying. But that comes down to same thing. It's you have to take it past that animal brain and really
consciously think on it,
or just really put it in a scope of possibilities and just whatever.
Yeah.
Or even that, and not personalizing everything as well. Because a lot of things we think, oh, that was an attack on me. It's like, you were just a body. Like you could have been literally anyone, especially like road rage and shit. Think they're mad at you?
Yeah.
Well, they don't give a fuck. You're just literally the vehicle to express his anger on. Because and that's a whole different thing, because you're kind of more sensitive while driving because you are in danger, and so you know that. So when someone cuts you off or something, you're that visceral with your action because, like, on a very
deep level,
a very conscious and subconscious level, you know that he could have just killed the fuck out of you. So whatever. But still, that's us getting past rationality and just being straight emotional.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that had nothing to do with you. Maybe you guys should be checking. It's not like it was wrong, but like that wasn't against you. You were just there.
And that's a skill. That's definitely a skill. Cause,
no, you gotta practice that.
Yeah, because
you really gotta. Yeah.
I feel like it goes in the same kind of a vein when we're talking about like when you're trying to change how you feel about something, trying to catch it before it takes you. Like you're trying to catch that little window before you start getting emotional, before you start like going into any spirals. Like but wait.
Yeah.
This is really just them worried about something else. This isn't me.
Yeah. Or like because that's important. 'Cause sometimes it can be against you, and it's important to know when that's the case as well.
Yeah.
But that's usually
you have
not
to do
most
something.
Cases. I was watching. I still gotta finish it, but I've been watching Billions off and on, and that was like a big plot. that was a big plot, and one of the things like he was Have you seen any Billions?
I haven't. I've watched that trailer a couple times.
All right, this will be a slight spoiler, but it's not
Let it rock. It's good.
Yeah, just for context though. But like, basically, a casino is being built somewhere in New York, and he found out it was going to be in the city, so he made investments in the city to above, because it would go up. All the property values should go up once the casino's there. So it turns out some other people, some people in political positions found out he did this and had the casino move to a different city just so he just fuck with him, just so he lose money. And so that happens. He's just like, what the fuck? He's angry. He's like, we just spent $500 million here, and that shit's going on. I gotta get my money back. And who did this? Why did this happen? And like for a couple episodes, like 3 or 4 episode arc, is like, was this against me or did this just happen? And that's his investigation, because it's just like, I get stuff happens. Like, stuff can get moved, but I also know that people fucking are coming at me. And it's really important. And that's what, and people are just like, dude, we can make the money back. Like, that's what they lose a lot of money, but all we do is make money. Like, we can make more money, we can get it back. It's like, it's not even about that anymore. I need to know if we're under attack. Like, if this is something that can just happen, then fine. He's like, I can understand things happening. But if this is against me, if they're coming for me, I have to know. Because we have to respond. Because we're at war then. And so that was the arc. So it's like, he was rational. He's angry, and then he's rational. So wait a minute. Was this or not? Like, because they're all like, yeah, just get out of it. It just happens. Like, I understand that it could have happened, but it turns out it wasn't against him, so he had to go ahead. But
no,
yeah. So it's I think it's important. Once you have to have the emotion, you can't just not have it, but don't move off of it. Have it, sit in it, and then get like past it where you can really break down what happened. Like what, and then was this because I was involved, or was this just because I was there? You know what I mean? Or
in that case,
just in the wrong spot, wrong time.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, maybe some things you'll never know if it's just like micro incidents, but you can kind of rationalize a lot of things that had nothing to do with you. And if it did, then take action. Or, if not violent action, but like appropriate action or move appropriately. But if it's not, you have to be able to make that difference. Because then everything is racism every time something goes bad for you, or I'm cursed, or the coronavirus was made to take me out of presidency. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not one president I'm referencing. That's 2 for you, son. Crossing borders with the jokes.
Oh yeah, no, the ignorance is something that's hard to fight. And I actually think that has a lot to do with ignorance, even what we were just talking about. Because when people have a habit of getting caught up in their emotions, it takes from them being able to think about things as they happen. And if they have to talk about said emotions that they're already too emotional about, it's hard to get them to come out of that to get them to the real thoughts.
And that's why therapy is helpful. That's why I'm not mad at the push for people, just because that's what people talking through these things and someone being like, okay, yeah, you have a reason to feel that way, or you hear what you just said. Like, sometimes you just gotta get it out. Like, even I had like a work emergency like last week, and I'm just where this whole thing, but like I had like a string of sites like down because the hosting did some shit. So I'm putting this like fireball of a situation. All these systems got taken down. I did nothing for it, but I have to respond to it because otherwise nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where it's like, the emotion in me of like, this is a lot. There's no time is like every moment this is like not fixes a problem, and that hit me. And usually I maybe get past it, but like and at the same time I didn't know exactly what to do. Like I'm like, so I'm hung up and I'm feeling time pressure. So I'm like I'm like, trying to. So I'm like, I gotta get on the phone. So they call and Started talking to some other developers and like, yeah, like, this is what's happening. So I had the thing that I was like, well, should you do this, and this? I'm like, well, I was doing this and I think this. He's like, yeah, maybe this. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Maybe that was wrong. Like maybe that didn't get brought over and whatever. So like I just had to like talk because all this is happening internally. Like and there's nothing and bouncing off of me who's spinning. So it's like trying to think inside of a tornado. And that's where we find ourselves. But if you let it out, like now you've released some of that pressure, and if the person, it has to be a helpful person as well. Like you can't really, I don't know, you can't just unload on your dog and like it's gonna be okay maybe. But like he was able to, he didn't tell me exactly. He gave me steps like, all right, well maybe it could be this, and I was like, I think it could be this. Oh well, if you do this, and you can check if it's this, and if it's this, yeah, if it's this, I know what to do. And so literally had that conversation, hung up. 10 minutes later, I was like running through the airs. Like it was been restored. And they were like, yeah, keep us in touch. Yeah, just let us know if you need anything. I'm like, 10 minutes later, like I got a text like, oh, yo, I just refreshed Slam until you fixed it after work. And I was still trying to figure out. I gotten over the hill, but like I was still trying to fix some images weren't coming up. So I was still in that, but like I was like, yeah, just thanks. I was like, it was really, really helpful. I didn't realize I just needed to get it. I guess I did realize, that's why I called. Because I knew it wasn't like a bailout. But yeah, you just got to be able to release that shit and reset yourself. And then just see what you're not seeing. Yeah. Because in that emotion, like you get like tunnel vision and blinded and just like breathe, take a step back, not even see the bigger picture.
And I think that everyone has different things that work for them. Like I like that you were able to find that talking to your other homeboy that was a developer worked. Like for me, I've ended up like, you know, sometimes I just work out. Like okay, I don't need to exactly talk, but I just need to not think about that, or I need to focus and like put my mind on something else. And then when I'm done with that, I might be tired, and then I can just let things be and think about things more clearly because I don't have the energy to be angry or any of that.
Yeah, and it was probably different. Yeah, it'd have to be different releases or different
for therapy. Different problems.
Yeah, because like that's more of like I would take that approach for me if something like quote unquote devastating would happen, and I was like, oh, and so I may not even talk to anyone about it, but like I gotta sit with that emotion, then get past it and whatever. So I need to release some energy if I'm mad. Exercise is great, like just exhausting that, like stuff like that. But then if it's like, I feel like it's rather just me problem solving. If I can't solve it, so I feel like that's probably my best skill. I'm not saying I'm the greatest at it, but for my arsenal of shit, problem solving is what I lean on.
It's your bag.
Yeah, it's my bag. I lean on the bag part. If I didn't have the bag, I don't even know what that'd be. I don't even understand what that means that I have the bag. I don't even know if I have another bag. That's how big that bag is for me.
Okay,
like, I'm really confident that I can figure something out. So that gives me even the confidence going into the situation. Like if you put me in like one of those like locked rooms, the escape rooms and shit, I don't think I need a team. And it might literally be like, yo, but no, you need at least two people because you gotta turn these at the same side on this room at the opposite sides of the room. I got you, son. Fuck you. I gotta figure it out. Yeah. Like that's what my confidence level is because I go to the bag. The bag doesn't let me down unless I'm too emotional and I can't see in the bag. And that's why I gotta talk about it. And then he just got me back in the bag. You know what I'm saying? But I needed to.
And that's the reason why I said that it's different stuff for different people because I think it's more on skill set than problem. Because
or just different problems. Maybe.
It's definitely I think it's both more than that. It's not a or thing. It's a both thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because if you have a problem like a technical problem, but you don't have the technical skill, you might get freaked out, overwhelm yourself. Like, man, this is just so crazy. This is just so crazy. I do that, but I can get over that if I just waste some energy and look back at it tired. I have, or for me at least, being tired means that I can just be open. I can, whatever's happening, I can let it be that. I can relax on it. Or like, let's say I was doing some of the stuff trying to learn to code. And I was telling you one of the times like, oh yeah, I'm having so much trouble seeing this or this. So I don't see the problem. You're basically like, you didn't have a semicolon. And it was like, oh my God. And so I was like, that freaked me out that was such a little thing. Next time I had the problem like that, I just go away for a little bit, get tired, and come back. And I'm like, all right, well, let's really look at it. And, you're just reading your lines. Again, I've missed a little thing like a semicolon. Boom, you hit it, and now things are different. Problem solved. Obviously, that scales up. More technical it gets. But
I think it matters on the stakes too.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It stakes time, how much time you have.
Because that's usually.
Because if you have, I mean, if you have, well, no, it's not always connected though.
That's it. I did say sometimes.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know.
But I think when it's not.
I think a lot of the time it's not. I think that the problem with the highest stakes is that, or there is time, but it's so much time that you can take it for granted. And I think that's the game of life.
Well, okay. Hold on. You tried to. All right. That's what you tried to. You thought you were being deep, boy.
No, but it is. It is though.
I feel you, but you.
It's anything that's longer than your conscious amount of time. A lot of people can, like, let's say, for example, you have stakes that are going for your school shit. You want to do your school shit? That takes years. That's not something that you just finish up in a couple months.
No, but okay.
You got a hard class.
That's not. Yeah, okay, because you're not thinking about it all the way, or I think you're expanding it too big. Like, because all of these scenarios don't usually come from the whole thing, or like the whole scenario. Like life is one event or like one thing, but it's made out of like billions of events.
For
right?
sure.
And we're talking about all these events, and all of these events have range from no stakes to high stakes to. This is gonna make that more. From no stakes, nothing can happen, to death, right?
Yeah.
This could kill me. Those are the range of life stakes. There's stakes that can happen at any given time. Most things
aren't death.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
Most things aren't even high stakes. I think most things are like really zero.
Yeah.
Like, what am I eating today? People spend like 30 minutes. You're just like, it doesn't matter. You're gonna shit in an hour. And you're gonna be hungry in 4. Like, so. Yeah, so that's no stakes, but whatever.
For sure.
And I think that's where we live most of the time, and we inch up into the high stakes. Even that was high stakes since financials and stuff. But like, if I didn't figure it out, like, because I was already like, if I don't figure this out, like it's bad, but it's not devastating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could get past it. I wouldn't be happy about it. It's not a concession on. I'm not trying to take L's under any circumstance, but the L won't kill me.
Yeah,
it will hurt.
You can take it.
Yeah, it's an arrow. It can be pulled out. But it was still high enough where because it was more than me affected. Like, matter of fact, I wasn't affected. Only through the fact that everyone else was affected. It's like a couple hundred employees, like everyone's down. No one's getting email. Like,
yeah.
So like, and his emails and the people are at. They're
stressed trying to get the problem solved with you.
Well, they're not. they can't solve the problem. I'm the only one that can solve the problem.
Well, I'm saying they're stressed trying to talk to you.
they're beyond stressed. He's freaking the fuck out. He was stressed last night. Now he's at a full blown panic. And yeah, you can see that. You can see people panic in text. I mean, you don't see that, but like an email is just like, it's over time. Like, you know what I'm saying? That string, we don't have email strings this long. These are just like, I need this. Alright, cool, it's not. We're on like number 20, and it's just like, when do you think that it's done? Oh my god, have you talked to the people? So, I understand.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like I can't, and I'm not in a position to even attach guarantees on this because I can't tell you I don't know this problem. But I'm trying to figure it out. I can't give you, because that's even more like, what the fuck? Oh my god, no, it's over.
He's asking you to read the rules.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's I think of like, that's what's interesting about, I guess, what I do at least, because my cousin compared it as like, you're the man in the chair. Like, did you see Spider-Man Far From Home?
I get the concept.
Yes. It's
not.
the same thing.
Yeah, it's not like.
No, they just made it very specific to that, but in that movie. But yeah, it's the same thing. And like, also think of like Death of Superman, the cartoon movie, where he's getting his ass whooped. He goes up to Lois, and she's like, "Yeah, I think it's time to bring the cavalry." He's like, "I am the cavalry." There's no one else. Like everyone else is down. You can see Batman's fucked up right there. Like Wonder Woman hasn't woke up in 2 hours, son. Like they're fucked up. There's no one.
I'm last man in soccer.
Yeah, that's why. Like, so there's no, like, at least I have the person that people I call where I'm just like talk it out.
Yeah.
But there's no other. I can't pass.
The chain doesn't go further.
No, I can't pass it on to anyone. Like, oh, I can't. It's someone else's problem. No, if I don't solve it, it's not fixed. So there's a real pressure with that. The only reason it's not a problem is because I usually know what the problem is. Like, it's usually not that serious. Even if they think it's serious. It stays in those things. But every couple of years it gets ramped up. Like, here's the cycle. Like, every 2 or 3 years you're just like, I'm like, God damn it, why? And then you get past it, and then it's like your XP goes up, and then we game. Like, you've acquired this.
Levels you up.
Yeah, level, and now it's that much easier going forward. And so, like, this will never be hard again. But you gotta get through that fire. Don't remember the point of any of this.
I think you were leaning into something along the lines of, when the stakes are set up like that, you have to outsource to someone else.
Oh, well, you can't. Well, I guess.
I think that's kind of what you were getting at.
I think it could have been. Because my point was sometimes you can't. I guess the way you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because,
you
like.
Deal with that emotional buildup.
Yeah, or just because you were saying, like, your way of, like, the problem solving is to stop.
Well, that's kind of.
Time. We're saying when the stakes are high, time's not always attached. And
okay.
I kind of disagree. Where I was trying to think of a time when that's not the case. I feel like it's usually tied with high stakes time. Because there's a limited time to make the decision or that the action needs to be made in. Like, it's part of the high stakes.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Like,
no, I think that most of the things that matter the most happen over the most time, and that means.
What does that mean? I don't think that.
I think that most of the things that will make the most difference in your life take a long time to happen or not happen. And for example, education, one of the bigger things that change someone's whole life. The stakes are everything. No one feels like they are, though, because it's stretched so far.
No.
You don't think so?
No, not that way. You're right, but I think that comes down to, like, a moment. I think I think it's like kind of the opposite of what you're saying. Like, cause you're right. That whole arc is important and takes a long time. That's not a high stakes. What's a high stakes?
We're talking about a high stakes scenario. Is more what this is about. Though.
That's all we're.
This is the high stakes scenario.
Because, but even that whole thing, like that matters a lot. Well, but I think that caring about it comes down to a moment. There's a point, and that's a high stakes moment. Even if you don't know it's a high stakes moment, kind of for your. Like I can remember my moments of why I cared about education. It's like and they're very small moments, small interactions with like 3 people over and they're not even at the same time. Like one's like somewhere like 4th grade, happening in middle school, and then again one more time like high school. One was TV and 2 were by friends, and they were certain moments that sparked curiosity in certain things, and then I ran the ball there. That was like a super small moment. Like literally a book falling out of a locker was the middle school moment. I think I told you about it. Like my friend Dominic. I don't even know if we were friends yet. See, he's like one of my best friends going forward after that point. But just that small, he dropped the book. I saw it. It was Lord of the Rings, 2 Towers. And I'm like, what is that? And he told me what it was, and sparked. I don't know if I even give a shit about fantasy stuff, like going forward from that point on, and even just reading in general. I was not one to open a book before that. Like, pretty vehemently against it if you really shook me down for it. It changed that whole shit. Before I knew, I was like on page 800 of like, I'm like, I wouldn't. You'd ask me a week before that moment to read a $900-page book. You'd have to bribe me with all kind of shit, and I still probably wouldn't have done it. Then I did it by my own volition because of a conversation in between periods. So it couldn't have been more than like 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's small moment. Like life is like a lot of small moments, and those small moments create like forks, like all the time, and you might not even know this matters as much as it's gonna matter, because the result may come years later, or like it may culminate years later, but the moment already happened. Like, you know what I mean? I think life is like that, like a lot, because even like in the job thing, like, whereas like in a career wise, like the client I was talking about, I've had him or them for over 10 years. Like, so it's usually super easy, little updates, and then had like one big problem. It's like, okay, spikes. And then it's another big problem. It's gonna go however long. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in that whole time, if you want to do the whole time, it's very low stakes. It's mid at best, just because it comes with compensation. But yeah, some high stakes, and then there's mostly just very low stakes scenarios. Yeah, you can't take it in the totality at one time, because you just don't know.
Yeah, but that's at least that part is what I'm saying. Like, you don't know, but it's the totality is the highest stakes. Like that's
it's
where
not
it
really
is.
Stakes, though.
Like
everyone dies.
when that thing culminates those years later, the results are big. They're not. It's not the same as
those are big results, but those aren't stakes. Like, stakes means you could lose. Like, it's not just the win.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're past the loss. The loss came when you decided to go on that path. Like, you could have lost there. That's the loss. Like, if
So let's say you didn't meet Dom, and instead that whole arc ends with you not even finishing high school. At the very end, that loss at the end isn't a loss of the whole arc? Because that's what I see it as.
I lost it years before that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't even know that arc is broken if that go down that timeline because it wasn't a possibility the other way yet. You know what I'm saying? It's a flashpoint shit. Like so, it's in the moment because the rest of the totality you can't look 20 years down and be like, oh shit, I'm not going to graduate high school. Where's this nigga? Like what? You can't. So, and you can't even at that point trace it back to that point. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to keep it in the moment. Because like 20 years later, you don't graduate from high school, or 20 years, it's been like 10 years later, you don't graduate from school. Let's just say it just all rolls down. Like you're stealing and whatever. And
you wake up in jail.
Yeah, wake up in jail and you're like, damn, where did this shit go wrong? You're never gonna pinpoint to the non-interaction you didn't have, you know, or the even that decision that you made in that point of being curious or not or whatever. It's not possible, like, because it's a micro interaction. You would trace it back to a lot of things that were already on the path. You've been like, man, I shouldn't have robbed that dude. Shouldn't have been robbing to begin with. But like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I do think you can. I just think you have to. I think it's the same way as when you're pointing to how you get the curiosity and things like that. Go ahead. What?
I can only see it because I went through this now, and we had a relationship going before, so I remember meeting him. But like, if you went down the other way, that interaction would not have been an interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have been like in your mind, it would have been a no effect.
Yeah.
But like it was an effect, but it was a non-event then. It was only an event because of how it went. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's most things. Like you know the difference between like meeting like a girl and not is, you know, just walking down the street. Like, if I go talk to this person, we could be friends for the next 20 years. Or I can walk by and we won't, and I won't think about this again. Yeah. But that could have been a pivotal moment, and that's all the time. Like every time you decide to learn something, or you say nah, and just I don't know, watch Game of Thrones and like never come back to this. That could have been the beginning of you and whole enterprise or whatever. But you didn't, so it wasn't, and you're never gonna go back to like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you. I didn't agree with that specific context until you started explaining it more. Yeah. No, it's it's some time travel shit.
Yeah, so since we can't time travel, you just gotta do your best to stay present in every moment. And make it the best interaction you can, because at least you don't know what it's gonna bring, but as long as it's good, it should bring good. Or you can at least lean on that side. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's
bad can still happen, but I think you can eliminate. You know, you just go towards good, and good should happen most of the time, and when bad happens, hopefully you're in a better position to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should go into things with good intentions, but be prepared for someone else not to have them.
Sure.
That's really what it comes down to. Because like, if you're being cool and someone else is being cool, it'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's only when it's positive and negative that you get negative.
Yeah, and how you deal with that scenario could ripple out 10 years later.
Yeah.
And if you know, one of the tightest quotes I ever said, it's only loosely like related to this, but it's Lil Duval. And the quote was, don't be mad at, or the future, or today was built by somebody's plans 15 years ago. And yeah, right? It's tight. Like, it's just like, you're right. Like, and if you want something to be some way, start now, and you could be in that world. Because right now, someone did this. Like, we're in that building right now. Someone built this shit. Someone built this whole block. Someone planned the city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty big.
No, it's...
And everything starts at a moment. So, like, You know, as long as you can snowball, as fast as things snowball bad, because we don't even use that like downhill snowball like in the worst ways. You can snowball good.
Yeah.
It's maybe a little harder to get it going, but it's maybe not. Like you can really do it.
It is.
I think that's a defeated.
It's not defeated. It's just like. It's just that.
Why does it have to be?
Because most of the things that we consider bad are things that you're naturally doing, while most of the things that you consider good, if you are doing naturally, you're considered fortunate. And if you aren't doing naturally, then
wait, man. Oh, you missed me.
It was a whole lot. The fortunate.
Fortunate.
Yeah, no, like let's say like people. We call it people being blessed with their passions. Like you're blessed to have this passion.
Yes. Okay. I don't think you have to be passionate to snowball good. That's what I'm saying.
You don't, but it's considered that. You don't need it, but if you let's say you have a passion into like music and you just that's all you do, you just work on your music, and you get good because practice plus time. So then you might be talking to someone and they're talking to you about it and they're like, yo, you're so lucky to have this passion in music and da-da-da-da-da. They don't see the work, but they consider the fortune of the passion because the passion helped you to get that ball rolling. Because, I mean, working out I think is one of the ones I like because a lot of people don't just like working out. It's hard to get that ball rolling. Yeah. But once you have it rolling, now it's easy to perpetuate it.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you passionate about it, though.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's hard. But that's my point. It's hard to get that ball rolling. Way harder than not working out.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just that
I just hate
it shouldn't be looked at as impossible.
Or not even improbable. Like,
yeah.
It shouldn't be even.
It's.
I hate
it just has a hell week.
I don't disagree with it. With what you're saying, I just hate it.
You hate the message that comes with it.
Yeah, because like, as soon as you put up a fucking speed bump, people are like,
yeah.
And it's just like, fly over that shit. Like why would you even give yourself that built-in? This is hard. Like, I don't know why people.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and that's because you're playing the mental game at the same time. Like if I was playing the mental game right now, I would never say that. I would never even acknowledge that. Like if I'm sitting by myself and I'm having trouble, I'd never acknowledge I'm having trouble. Like because that weakens you.
It doesn't matter if you acknowledge it if you believe it though. It doesn't matter if you acknowledge it if you believe it.
It does.
Because it's always there. Like I don't have to know that you're having a problem if you're toiling with something just because. You don't let me know that you're having a problem doesn't make it less of a problem for you. If you're having a problem,
okay,
you're toiling over something that you're in toil.
Yeah.
So you're having an internal problem, but you come here and you just say, it's all good. Don't let me. That doesn't make your problem less a thing. Just acknowledging it doesn't make it real. It's still real.
No, that's for sure. But you can get over challenges. You can make yourself get over challenges by not acknowledging it. For example, like you can start off a set. We can go back to working out. You start your set off, and I and a lot of other people believe that how you're thinking is going to affect the way you work out. It's a big thing. So you go into it, you don't think you can finish those 5 sets. But when you start talking to yourself like you can. When you start, you get real with it. And you may get the 4, and now you're on that 5th one, you're struggling, but you keep doing it. Like, oh yeah, nah. I thought I couldn't do it, but I can. I thought that this shit wasn't going to be possible, but here I am. I thought you can, all you have to do is talk to yourself. That switches everything.
But that is you.
That doesn't mean I didn't believe it. It just means that I told myself that I can change it.
But you didn't though.
No, I did. It's just that
like
I know that I know just because I believe
you.
Yeah.
So like you're convincing you.
Yeah, but I'm picking a side to win.
But you are the same side though. You know, like I understand.
It's two sides playing against each other.
You put a devil in, but you're the only. I see what you're saying, but like it's
you have to pick one that wins. You're all the same team, but there's only one side that runs the ship. There's one side that needs to be told to shut the fuck up sometimes. So, for example, when we're talking about this "it's hard" thing, yeah, I can acknowledge something's hard, but when it's time to start doing it, it's not hard. When it's time to start doing it, this is what we do. That's it. We do this, it gets easier, and we keep doing it. And you talk to yourself that way. If you talk to yourself, okay, let's say that. It's not that you can just believe something and then not acknowledge it. You can change your belief mid-struggle. And it might not be a permanent change, but it's permanent enough that it can get you through it. And then that success can build the belief up in itself.
But that's not even like... See, at some point belief ends and then just reality reinforces it. Because like this one, like the part, like belief is... because I guess at some point it's not belief anymore. Like you're not believing anything. It's I can do this. I just did it. I don't have to believe I can do it after I've done it. You know what I'm saying? That's not. I don't need faith.
Or I guess in the terms of that one, you give yourself a gauntlet and you pick it up and you make yourself succeed. Like
yeah, but I feel like if you only pick up the gauntlet.
Nah, I think it's important that you acknowledge your challenges. Because like
I'm not saying
because that's the angle it felt like you took, not acknowledging challenge. Like
you can acknowledge challenge, but I never start something thinking I can't do it. Like that's crazy. That's insane. Like I can't.
Have you never started something thinking it was difficult?
Yeah,
because that's what we're saying here.
No, you said you go into the gym. I have 5 sets. I don't believe I can do these 5 sets. I wouldn't start the 5 sets if I didn't believe. I might get into it and be like, oh, this is going to be hard. But then I know I can do this.
I get what you're saying.
And everything, all that talk that I'm saying up to that point, like, get me through, like, oh, my body's like, oh, stop. And I'm like, no, fuck this, you got to keep going. That's because I truly believe I can get through this, even though gravity in my body's saying, stop it. Like, but the only reason I continue is because I know I can do this. Beyond what everything's telling me until you get the results, then it's like, fucking told you I could do that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't imagine going into something thinking I can't.
No, that's wording. No, that's wording.
Yeah.
Because,
everything.
because, like, even, because I do say that kind of stuff to myself. But even if I'm saying that to myself, I don't mean that to myself. Even if I'm saying I can't do that, I've never believed I couldn't do anything. So even when I'm saying I don't think I can do this, all I'm really saying is that this is way more challenging than I'm ready for. But I'm going to do it.
That's what I'm saying. You have to believe you can do it.
Well, I'm not sure is what the big thing is. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna push myself till I am. Because once I have the result, I'm sure.
Well, I think it's not even. All right, I'd say like you believe you can do it, but then you get into it, you become unsure because of the difficulty. But like your belief brings you through it, and then it's not belief anymore. It's just I could do it because I did it. You're not standing on faith by that point anymore. It's just now I know I have this new limit or this new So I can't.
And no, I like that we even talked about this because, like, for myself and for all of you guys, how you word, how you talk to yourself is really important.
It's everything. That's why I have to get on like Claudia. This is so baseball now.
Wait, you just name bombed, bro.
Yeah, it's going. I'm ready to get it. No, because like I've talked to her about it because her family's kind of negative.
Oh, they have that negative self-talk.
It's a lot of just general negativity. Just like you gotta stop. Like it's not cool because you're gonna manifest this. Like you can't not do it if you're defeating yourself before the world can defeat you. Like, how do you have a chance against the world if you can't beat yourself in your mind? Like you're saying, it's a one-on-one game, and you're losing, son? Like, what are you gonna do when you get online?
The mind is powerful.
You can't beat the computer. You want to play people? Like, son,
yeah, like
they're gonna fuck you up.
I deal with negative self-talk myself, and I mean, like, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Like, really, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it's like it's kicking my ass. Sometimes it got me on a streak, but sometimes I can. Or when it kind of goes back to like the charts. No matter how low it goes, you got to have a retrace. Eventually, you get enough tension that it's like, yo, this isn't gonna work. Like, even if whether I can or can't do it, don't matter now. I'm doing it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's weird. I super empathize. Well, I empathize with people that just don't believe in themselves or coming from that standpoint. And I empathize, and then the next breath is to try to beat it out of them ferociously.
Yeah, and
it's usually with love. Like,
no, for sure. And I mean, I normally approach people that have more negative self-talk than I do. I feel like it's easy for me to talk to them because, for one, I can relate. So it's easy for me to switch modes. It's easy for me to say, like, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but it's easy for me to jump out of that and be like, yeah, but still, you need to da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to control, or I think the difficulty in controlling one's own confidence is the challenge in. Because I think everyone has confidence. I feel like that we talk like confidence is a thing you have or do not have. I think everyone has it.
It's a skill.
Yeah, it's a skill like all the other stuff. It's a muscle. So if you let it atrophy, if it's tired, or you're rusty, then you're more sensitive to it. And that, like, for example, for you, you're ferociously trying to beat it out of them. You're kind of trying to work out the muscle. You're kind of
no, because I mean
it's like assisted training.
Yeah, but I do feel like you said, like, it's levels of it. So like I would go no confidence to supreme confidence, and I put no confidence as a level just because it's at 0. So like if I feel like you're starting anywhere on that scale, you need like it's like your heart stopped. You need the pumps.
Yeah,
I need to hit you with the paddles. That's what that is.
Yeah.
So I remember I did that the tour thing in San Diego like that weekend, and I can't even talk about it, but it was just baffling me like that. I was in this conversation because we're bar hopping. So for like this weekend, I gave like tours in downtown San Diego, and it was like a bar hopping experience and. At the lat, we're at Omni, and just walking around socializing with people. This like 6'4" young Indian dude, like looking like a goddamn I don't even know, man.
Like the Greek god statues.
Yeah, like I'm just like, bro, if I were you. Like, I'd run everything. Like, I feel like Guinea's like, give me that body. It's over. Like and he's like 20-year-old Indian dude, very good looking dude, just all the whatever. And we're walking, and he's like, man, he's with his friend, and he's like, man, yeah, I don't know, I was having so much problem with girls out here. I'm not talking to him. I was getting so nervous, and just like I stopped. Like we were walking on the way to the Omni. We were in between bars. My knees buckled. I was like, what? Bro, if you can't do it, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to feel out here? Like I had to stop. I was like,
yo, this is a funny circle back. I want you to finish. Yeah. This is a funny circle back to the last line of defense.
Yeah.
Everyone's asking last line of defense. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know how to solve this problem. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do if you can't?
It's me. I was like, bro, dude. I was like, so like, That makes no sense. I was straight up. You're talking crazy right now. Any girl would be lucky to talk to you right now. Like I'm gonna make some assumptions that you're educated. It's a little reverse racism at work, but not even that. I know a lot of Indian people, and so like if you grew up anywhere, but see, I knew he didn't immediately because they have so much swag. Like all my Indian friends swag so hard. So I was just, what happened to you? I wanted to have a whole conversation, but like I didn't have time for that.
Stories.
So I just needed to hit him with a pal. I was just like, bro, anybody be lucky to talk to you. Like you should go with people pretty confident in just that. Not with an arrogance to it, but like with a straight. They should be as lucky to talk to you as you are to them. And he's like, oh shit. He's like, man, I fucking need this like all the time. Like I went in. I was like, no man. So whatever I'm saying here, this is a bridge. Like for that talk, I didn't stop. Cause I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like this can't be happening. And if we would have had hours, I would have about to do. I wanted to know the story. How did we get here? Who hurt you? But regardless, so that's how I approach that. I see the ice. You smell it, or they're like filling your hair with it. Nah, I gotta air that shit out, son. Like I can't. And if I can't, you're just stuck there, then I gotta go. If I can't help you, I gotta leave you. Yeah. Because you're not ready to. Life gets what Drake said. Your girl just like Munchie can't have no pretentious thing because I know this world gets bumpy. Yeah. Yeah. Life gets way harder than this shit, son. If you can't handle level 1. You're not gonna make it past the fucking second boss.
And it's so interesting because like everyone has like mental demons, like and everyone's demons look different. Oh, yeah. But it's a weird thing because just those differences make people feel like their problem's so special. Mm-hmm. We've talked about this a lot before. Yeah, it's hard to deal with because even like we say this right now, like I said, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose in the confidence fight. Yeah. When I lose, the loser's mindset is, yeah, you know, like I'm not in control. That's not me, and you have to like really, and that's
whoop that guy's ass every time.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying you got to tell them to shut the fuck up sometimes, like
hands and feet. Son.
Yeah, because like yo, and like I think the thing that I'm lucky for is that like I can stop myself mid-thought a lot. Like I can, even though I have word vomit, but like I can pause thoughts to at least change the feeling. Whoever taught me that, they blessed me, and I've just taken the blessing as far as I could. Mm-hmm. But like when I catch myself doing that, I usually have to stop that and be like, all right, well, yo, like I can control this, I can control that. Like, well, let's control that right now. Yeah. If we can't, I'm not saying I can't control this because I can't give loser me any hope here. Hey, you got to stay down. What? But know that we gonna work on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. We did that.
And everybody, if you're not feeling confident in yourself, talk to yourself. That shit works sometimes.
Yeah. Or talk to your most positive friend. Really.
Yeah, find that motherfucker.
If you feel yourself in negativity, search for positivity. Because I think energy can't be created or destroyed, but it can be transferred. That's laws of physics.
Yeah.
So, but take that to like emotional energy.
And don't trade with them.
Huh?
I said, and don't trade with them. Don't give them your negative shit back.
No, I do think you can. I think positive energy can change negative energy to positive. Yeah. And vice versa.
Yeah. I think it's
a real spread.
I believe in the transfer you're talking about, but I also believe in transmute. And that's what I talk about with when we're talking about when you're scared, you can change it to excitement. I think you can transmute things into other things. Your feelings you can shift them. Mm-hmm. Like it's negotiable. It's up to a point, you know. Like you can't negotiate the grief of your parents' death. Like that's a little different. Or unless you got that mental strength, then maybe you know, like you have that mental capacity.
Sometimes you got to throw on a cape and Batmobiles.
Fight against fear. We're all in the fight against fear, guys.
Yeah, whenever in doubt, just be Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is, I had it in my room actually, poster. It says, always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman, then always be Batman.
Yeah. Batman, Daredevil, those kinds of like Dark Knight heroes are really great because they deal with demons worse than any of us deal with, and they have to go to lengths to fight them.
Yeah, that's actually both of those are two good ones to pull because those are both like very fear based. Like that's always kind of what they're battling.
Yeah.
Or well, one's kind of said without fear because he's blinded. But that it's the theme that runs through both, and they're both done by Frank Miller
and Floyd Mayweather. I think Floyd Mayweather is a window into confidence and self-talk that no one can. Like I don't even know if people can beat it. Like he's crazy with his.
Yeah, he's a workhorse. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, he is.
He's as way more dedicated to his craft than anyone is to theirs.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's top level dedicated. Yeah.
I mean, like Mayweather 24/7 was part of why I was saying it because like he talks about like the training at like 4 a.m.
I've seen that.
And yeah, you would think like okay, he's just doing it because like he's trying to get that early morning save time. Like nah, I'm doing this because while I'm working out, they sleeping. Like
it's a very real feeling about, especially West Coast. That's a more feeling because everyone here is asleep. They're awake though. East Coast is awake, and shit's popping.
Yeah.
So I need to be up at 3. And that I think it was the same documentary. 'Cause that was like before one of the fights, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was an old one though.
But he was he had done all the training shit, and they showed him at home. He was on the couch, and his kids were there, and he had the little finger machine on his fingers, just doing this. And I'm like, okay, out of everything, really? Because I'm like, all right, it's been a whole day. You've been going all day, and still getting those fingers work, that finger workout. I was like, yeah, that said everything to me. Like all the other stuff is like, I mean, it's overly impressive, but that's athlete shit. Like there's, even your baseline athletes can kind of work up some of the shit, but like that's extra because no one's asking you to do that shit. No one was like, yo, champ, after you run 5 miles and do all this shit, never drink, like all this shit. Like, yeah, when you're at home with your kids, chilling out for the night, you get those fingers to work. No one asked him to do that shit. You know that. Like, no one. That means he was sitting there one day, years ago probably at this point, and he was just like, I could be doing more while watching this fucking, while I'm watching my fights, I could be doing more. Like, that told me everything. That out of that whole thing, that moment in that was like, okay. He doesn't turn it off. There's nothing else.
That's also a thing, and I feel like I still haven't finished the Jordan documentary. I'm on 6 now. But that was like really exemplified.
Oh yeah.
That's the self-talk, not even just that though. Like, because the discipline that went into it, that obsessiveness.
Obsession is a real tool. That's like probably. If you can add obsession to your arsenal, I feel like that can get you a long way. As long as you can be obsessed terribly. Like Alex Jones would be like obsession gone bad.
Obsessed with the right shit.
But even in that bad obsession, he was able to. You find something out of it. Even something's gonna come from it.
Yeah.
Like you build a whole platform off of even bad obsession, but like that obsession will keep it going every day. So just hopefully don't let your obsession be able to position to kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have some crazy obsessions.
Well, yeah, So whatever. People get obsessed with big cats, and saw that shit plays out. People lose arms and go to jail.
Yeah.
But to that point, you've done a lot.
I feel like we missed the one that was the craziest. You're a straight man that gets married gay and do a whole lot of meth.
Oh, I think it's just meth, though. I'm not taking anything off of meth, the power of meth.
Yeah, you can't take too much off
That's
the power
a hell
of
of a
meth.
drug. The big cats were just a small part of that story for them. No, that was drugs that worked, son. You're not sucking dick over playing with tigers. You suck dick for some meth.
Yo, the director had to take whole cuts out when they were talking to the husband. Like, yo, I know you went through it, but that's not what this is about.
That was about, bro. Yeah. So, that's our time. Don't be meth kids. So
Dare to be different. This is Smokey the Bear, only marijuana.
Alright, yo, it's been another episode.
Ruining childhoods, loving our audience, the regular.
For sure. Yeah, hopefully you got something out of this. If not, try again next week.
More love, more life.